This game was a massive knock, and I'm sure it was. And Jurgen Klopp addressed it and did not duck anything in that post-match chat with the media. But Martin, it begs the question: how in 1 week can you beat your greatest rivals, some would say Manchester United, by 7 goals to nil, go down the south coast to a struggling Bournemouth, it's fair to say, and lose 1-0?
Well, absolutely remarkable. To do that, and then the following week just. Really not acceptable, really. I mean, Jurgen Klopp, you can hear it in his voice. I just wonder, Jim, about you look at the midfield players for the 2 young kids playing either side of Fabinho, and somehow, when you go to those Premier League grounds away from home, I think you need to know what you're walking into. You might well have beaten at home Manchester United, who are going really well, but when you go wherever you go in the Premier League, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be a difficult afternoon, and they never seem to get into the game. The goal that they concede is unbelievable, Jim, really, when you can see Van Dijk not really sprinting back, slow to react. I know Salah goes on to miss a penalty. They should never have been in that situation. They should take charge of the games immediately, and the front three didn't click. Where they were absolutely unbelievable against Manchester United. And I think Jurgen Klopp just doesn't know what he's getting from this group. There's a lack of consistency.
But why, Martin? Is there any way you could give us an explanation as to why?
I think it's with young players. You just have to, it's what you go through. It's a learning curve. You've gone to situations, I look back in my own career, turned up at some grounds and really been surprised at the atmosphere and how difficult it was at certain stadiums. And it doesn't go well for you. And then you think, right, this won't happen again. I'm prepared. I'll be available for this one, and I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. I think there's a little bit of that with the group. There should still be enough good players and experienced players in this Liverpool team to win in any stadium with the players that they've got.
Martin's absolutely right. Simon, off the back of Anfield 7-0, and everyone's lauding and applauding this new front three of Salah, Gakpo and Nunez. I mean, forget Firmino, Salah and Mane. That's gone. You can consign that to history. Salah, Gakpo, Nunez. This is the front three now, and yet it just doesn't happen. So much so that Darwin Nunez is substituted in 66 minutes for Firmino. I mean, no disrespect to Bournemouth, and my God, it's a win that no one would have thought they were going to get. So well played.
I've got to be honest. I did a piece to camera for a different part of the business on Friday, and I said
a piece to camera.
Yeah, it's a proper terminology, isn't it?
Wow, very good.
Go, yeah. But I did this thing on Friday with another part of talkSPORT, and I said that this game is going to be a battle. I didn't expect Liverpool to go and run over Bournemouth, because I just felt that Liverpool are such a mixed bag at this moment in time.
Excuse me, you didn't call a 1-0 Bournemouth?
No, I didn't. But I didn't think it was going to be a riot, and I didn't think that Liverpool were going to run riot over Bournemouth. I thought that Bournemouth were going to dig in, and I thought that Man United, the game against Man United, was as much about how bleeding bad Man United were as how good Liverpool were.
Yeah.
And I thought Bournemouth were going to show resolve. They were going to dig in. They were going to make it difficult. No, absolutely not. And I was in the boardroom at Tottenham when they were all cheering when Salah missed, specifically Levy, because he wants that full spot. But the bottom line is that you look at it and say that you can't odds that. So that tells you that United have still got some journey to go on. And when people were writing potential ideals that they were going to be in the title race, it was previous. They did bounce back against Betis, and you would have expected that, because if they didn't,
oh, that's true.
That's Man United. I'm sorry, I'm on a different tangent. But if Liverpool were to build upon where they've become in people's minds after the performance against Man United, I didn't think they were there. I thought that was a moment in time, and that we would see Liverpool again start to wobble, because I don't think they're anywhere near the mentality monsters that Jurgen Klopp had referred to, and now wishes he probably hasn't.
Maybe it was some of us, ourselves included, writing off Bournemouth already as consigned to the Championship, to be honest, Martin. And when you look at it, I know it's easy with the benefit of hindsight. Surely nobody more than Gary O'Neill knows what Liverpool are about and what Klopp's about, having spent time there looking after the under-21s as he did.
Is it another freak result? We're calling their Liverpool's result freak the week before. They've won 2 games, Jim, in the last 4, Bournemouth. I mean, what I find stunning at the bottom of the table is, having been there, which I don't talk about too much as a Villa player, and was relegated, so I know how it is to suffer this It is, Jim, when you lose your identity from the Premier League, it has to be the worst thing you experience as a player. So this is really tough pressure for these players at the bottom of the table. Yeah. Yes, of course, there's pressure at the top to win it, but it doesn't compare to being sooner be at the top than the bottom. And we have got an unbelievable dogfight now between now and the end of the season, all the way up to Palace. Yeah. And it's really, and Bournemouth so they've kind of been used to. They came out at the bottom three initially, then West Ham put them back in it with their draw, because they're used to this environment.
Well,
Southampton have managed a couple of recent wins.
What a fight they're putting up, though, Bournemouth. When you look at it, they beat Liverpool. Before that, they took Arsenal to the 97th minute and then lost by 3-2. This was Gary O'Neill. Tune into this. This was him post-match.
Sure we'll win again. Sure we'll lose again. So, try and stay really level. I think it's a big 3 points for us, is how I see it. I think, and I'm sure that, I know the boys still believe before today, to suffer the late goal at Arsenal and come and show everyone what they're made of again today. I was asked so many times this week whether the boys were going to suffer any hangover from the incidents at Arsenal, and there's your answer. So I didn't have any doubt. I'm sure the boys believed, but if they didn't, they definitely will after that.
I wonder if they believe when they go to Villa Park on Saturday, because that's next for them.
It is. They've got some big games, Jim, and they've got a little run of games in April, where they play Leicester, they play Bournemouth, they play Southampton, they play Leeds. They're big games, and I think, will they have enough? I don't think they will, Jim. Because they've not been consistent for long enough to do it. But what surprises me is when you're down there in the bottom, you shouldn't really be getting some of these results that they're getting. We're seeing that from when Southampton went to Stamford Bridge and won 1-0. It was like all bets are off. Nobody is sleeping easy at the bottom of the table, because you just don't know what. You can't look at the results.
Does that not say more about the supposed top teams? I mean, Arsenal were asleep for the first half against Bournemouth, got caught early, and when they decided to wake up, off they went and duly won the game 3-2, albeit with 7 minutes of injury time to be able to achieve that. But Liverpool, to my mind, are a shadow of themselves, and they're sixth in the league. So you look at these results and you think there's more to them to come. But I'm with you. I think I find it difficult, and maybe it's an unconscious bias towards Bournemouth that we're writing their obituary when they're beating teams like Liverpool, and actually they're on level points with West Ham, and they're perfectly capable of getting out of this bottom three.
Okay, we'll watch it with interest, Simon. Let's hope Bournemouth prove us wrong. We like Gary O'Neill. He used to be a regular in this studio, and he's doing well down there. But what a win over Liverpool. We're coming up at 2:12 noon.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.